The Upix Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host who's stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland Property Experts, baby, UPX.
What's going on, fellow Uplanders, and welcome to episode 181 of the Upland Property Experts podcast. I am your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, I'm joined by ThankMeLater. How are we doing?
What up? 181. That means this episode is a palindrome.
There you go. It's bugging me that our names aren't.
Oh, boy.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, when things are out of order, it just bugs me.
Dude, you're like... I would have gone through the entire show and not even noticed that.
Things just have to kind of flow a certain way and work a certain way during the show. So I was like, wait, our names aren't there, and it just messed me up right out of the gate. And it's been one of those weeks too. Yeah,
dang. Cheerio, says Usinate.
There you go.
Some cheerier for some than others.
Yes. A lot of fun stuff this week happened. Well, I wouldn't call it a lot of fun stuff, but some fun stuff happened. You know, they had the MV motor.
There were things that happened. That's true.
Yeah, the MV motor sale went on. You know, a nice little Upix suck right before London dropped, and ThankMeLater was right, and I was wrong. London dropped. Sticker shock was there, but we talked about it last week that there would be some sticker shock there, being a 111 and all that. And this week we do have Shaktilyn to join us as our special guest. She's got her hand in just like all kinds of stuff throughout, not just Upland, but everything.
Yeah, if you're involved in any project at any level, and you ask, "Hey, is Shaq part of this?" and the answer is no, then you're probably in the wrong project. I'm just saying, you know.
That's a correct statement.
Right? Like, I don't know a single project that I'm in that I'm excited about that Shaq isn't already a part of.
Shaq's the new Choina.
Oh. I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, Shaq's the female version of Choina.
All right. Maybe we can go with that.
Hey, I mean, Choina.
No, Choina's the dude, man. Choina was the original.
Yeah, so I mean, he made us lots of money in NBA Top Shot, so can't complain there.
I mean, he made one of us a lot of money. I don't know what happened to you on that.
I still made a lot. I just didn't pull it out.
Yeah, kind of the opposite with why you got 4 kids, eh?
Maybe. Anyway, with that, and we'll just jump right into it. Now, I did have a busy week, and
oh damn, my boy Choina.
Like you knew we were going to talk about it.
That's the best, dude. That just made my week.
It did. I haven't talked to him in a long time, and we used to talk every day, and then just life happens, and he got involved in his other projects, and
he got too good for us.
Too good for us. Well, he got high up in his other projects. And then there was the misunderstanding with Paul. Paul went to jail for some Paul Merrill. Yeah, he went to jail, and it was kind of garbage.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Basically what happened was he bought a property for $20 and never got it. Reached out to Upland, never got a reply from Upland.
Oh, I saw. Dave Shack was tweeting about it.
Yeah. Reached out to Tilia, and they gave him his money back. And then Upland said, "Oh, look at you and your chargebacks. You're going to jail."
Oh, my God.
And for something that's all on the chain.
But here's the thing. Hold on. Before we just rail on Upland, here's the thing. That catch is almost certainly automated. I don't think that somebody sat there and reviewed the account and went, this account goes to jail. I think as soon as a chargeback happens on an account, it by default goes to jail to stop the bleeding. So that way it can't charge back more and do more fraudulent activities.
Yeah.
So,
And that is a fair point, because, you know, when those properties popped off for 10,000 a piece and then people charged those back, and
yeah, there was, it was a steep learning curve for Upland during those times for sure. I don't think he was jailed intentionally, like somebody looked at the account and went, this account goes in jail. I fully expect that to be an automated process. And when you think about it, it absolutely makes sense. If you were doing chargebacks on your account, that is blatant terms of service breaching, and you should be absolutely in jail.
yeah. And JT, yeah, they shouldn't do it in the morning of the biggest release in a year. As ThankMeLater said, it's probably automated, and it hit a trigger in the system. And
well, who are you talking about, JT? Who are you talking about shouldn't have done it? The people doing, like, I'm saying it. Well, I mean, like, Upland's not going to turn that feature off during that. But I was thinking maybe if you're Merrill, you wait.
Paul says he's going to let the process play out, and he'll be good on the other side once they look into it.
Hey, there he is. What up, Paul?
Yeah.
Damn, we got a lot of people. What's up? Everyone's popping off tonight, too. Simone, what up, girl?
Yeah. Sorry, NFL draft's going on too. That's how dedicated I care.
Who cares?
I care.
Like, but what joy do you get out of watching grown men pick
Young men,
college men to go play a sport? Like, oh, come join our team. Yay. Like, what? How is that entertaining for you?
Well, when you do dynasty leagues and you got to have your rookie draft and you got to look at situations of who went where, and
God.
Oh, okay. You start talking about games and I have the same reaction. So what?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, that's not true. If they did an e-games draft, I would probably watch it.
Exactly. It's just to what you're used to.
They hit each other while running fast. Primal. You are correct. Happy Jack. Whoa. Shots fired.
Same as people buying little squares in London today. Hey, those little squares are expensive too.
Yeah, those are some expensive little squares.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So without further ado, we'll get Shaq on here to talk about everything that she has going on. How are we doing this evening, Shaq?
Hi, everyone. I'm good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, very excited to have you on the show. Nice and sunny where you're at, so you're still enjoying your lovely day.
Oh yeah.
Yes, definitely.
6:30 there.
Yep, that's right.
I can do math.
All right. So for the people that somehow don't know you, give us a little backstory of how you got into Upland.
Okay. My son-in-law sent me a text with a link to Upland, and I bought a property to humor him. And then I started asking him questions because it made no sense to me and I didn't understand. And he said Discord. And so I was really shy, but I signed up for Discord and I sat there reading stuff without saying anything. And then eventually I got into a node. And then I ended up getting to know Tosshead and working with Tosshead, and we entered the Genesis design contest together, and won. And so I got to go to Vegas. Tosshead lives in London, so he stayed there. But I went to Vegas and I got the trophy, and I met wonderful, wonderful people like you. You.
Yeah.
And more cheese, and Rob the agency, and Joe lives, and oh my God, everyone, Uplando.
So wait, you're a shy person?
No. I'm a weird mixture of personality traits.
I feel like once you get comfortable, like if you have some other people around, your confidence is very much heightened.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
It helps to get to know people and have friends. And I tend to not have anything to say. I don't make small talk. I like to learn details about things. I'm a researcher and a fact person. And so I learn, and absorb stuff. And once I feel like I have a really good grasp of information, then I have something to say finally.
Okay.
So anyway,
So what was the first node you got involved with?
Century Citizens.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I started Creedmoor with not just by myself, but with a group of people. And my leadership team is Rob Zilla and VS86 and Swedish Soldier and Umbrella Boy and K Saucy.
That's a list right there.
Yeah. So, so Creedmoor, I think people are familiar with the Halloween themed node that builds crooked houses around an insane asylum in Bellerose, Queens.
All right.
I don't know. There's so much. Started working with Upix World, met TML in Vegas.
What?
And I heard him and I followed him around like a little kitty cat. And he was describing his ideas for Upix World, and it was super secret. And his big arms were like stretching out as he described the wonderful things he was going to do. And it was really inspiring. And then I had the honor and opportunity to moderate the Upix World server and do
You're a fundamental part of the team.
Thank you. Gosh, I don't know. Help me out. What list did I send you? Then some of my first friends in Upland, some of the first people I met on Discord, Yukadag night. I know
Yukadag. I think he had a car. I think he got one of these cars last.
I bet he did. I
think he's got mint one red. I think I was negotiating with him with. Is that him? Oh, I might be mixing two people up with Y names now that I say that. But
yeah, that's a different name.
Is it a different Y name? Dang it.
Different Y name.
Well, so Yukadag and Relix are brothers. And some people call Yukadag Q. He sometimes just goes by the name Q. Okay. Anyway, they're brothers, and together with Jay Mansui and Obey and Nick and we started Ida Monero, which I know TML has heard of, but it's in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, okay.
It's currently toward the top of the neighborhood.
I've obviously heard of that.
Yes, it is. Okay, well, anyway. And then Tosshead and I have a 3D decor business called the Toss Shack. And
nice.
they rock.
We are making decor for several different really awesome node projects.
Can you tell us what kind of decor you're making? Or is it still secret?
Well, I think you have a lot of work out there. You can definitely talk about that.
We're making spooky stuff for Creedmoor Hub. And we're making sports themed for Stadium Chasers. Rob, the agency, just got approved.
Nice.
So anyway, oh gosh. And then, Crypto Jedi. He's in the beta decor MetaVenture.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a few delays, but we're making his doormats for him.
Oh, very cool.
That MetaVenture has a charitable mission to help the homeless.
Ooh, we got Chokes for Charity going on. If we raise $25,000, TML will get choked out by the Hyde Park Ninjas.
Yay, Chokes for Charity.
Definitely want to go check that out.
And then Tosshead and I are also working on the Avenue of Fashion, which is a drag strip in Detroit. And we have much bigger plans for it than just a drag strip. And then today was very, very exciting because we created a node in London.
That was actually pretty cool how that all came together yesterday. Tell us a little more of like just how it got started and what it's about and what went down with that.
Well, the leader of Century Citizens, his name is Jazz Mills. And as you have all seen, they've done a wonderful job building up Century City in Los Angeles and Beverlywood. He and his co-leader, Little Apple, had this idea that now, because cities are being released on a micro level with just like 20,000 properties, it makes it really hard for the various nodes to go in and each carve out their own space. And, you know, every node was having that problem. Like, yeah, we would like to have a node in London, but there's no way that we're going to get enough properties because there's going to be too much competition. And so,
also very true.
So Jazz Mills and Little Apple had this idea about bringing all of the nodes and players of Upland together to form a node. The huge Upland community collaborative effort. And they hit me up with it yesterday. And so I spent the entire day contacting everyone I know, asking for them to contact everyone they know and, you know, saying, you guys want to do this? And so the Portage Park Council had to meet and deliberate, and you can imagine what went on in each of the nodes to make this great decision. But in the end, we have something like 20 different nodes and some of the, you know, almost all of the best known names in the game, all in one server working on this united effort. I mean, it's really cool, right?
That's
Drop
awesome.
your divisions, you know, just come together as one community to build out the most amazing node in London. And it is in the Knightsbridge, Knightsbridge.
Belgravia.
Thank you, Belgravia neighborhood, which is, I didn't know, but I just found out it is the most expensive zip code in the world.
Really?
So
What?
in the world. So there was some sticker shock.
What? In the like real world or just
In the real world. The real world.
Huh.
Yes.
And that was the largest neighborhood launched today too.
Yeah.
They have over 3,100 properties. There's still 975 available for mint.
Yeah, it's cool because it's like,
Wait, in that neighborhood, there's still
Yes.
400 left?
900.
900 left?
Yes.
Oh, what's the lowest mint price?
I don't know the primary.
7? Is that 70,000?
Yeah, they're 3,976 per up square. So that was the priciest neighborhood in the launch today.
Yeah. We were talking about that this morning of like back in the day, we were hunting in San Francisco for about 100 UpX per up square.
Yeah.
It was like when things were getting tight, like we were trying to find the lowest properties, like that was the going rate. And we're minting now at 40x that per up square.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wild.
So it's centrally located in the London Strip, and it's near the water, and it's by some big recognizable names, Westminster and, well, I can't think of any of them now. Cool. So I'm super excited. Forever, I've been wanting us to work together as one Upland community. And so what I imagine is that every node that's present in this collaboration will represent their brand within the node. So it's sort of like having an embassy.
So you're going to build a sideways house?
Well, I don't know if it's, so, that idea has been, I think I know some people that wouldn't like that idea very much. And well, I know some
isn't that your identity as a neighborhood?
Yes, it is. It is. But I say, when in Rome.
You're not in Rome, you're in London.
We're not by an insane asylum. There's a reason why that's our brand, but we are more than just that. We are more than crooked houses. And so
I think that should be your new slogan, though. You're more than crooked houses. Like, you're the shittiest construction team ever. Like, when in Vegas.
Thank you, Dizzy. That's right. So anyway, it's just exciting, and there's plenty of room if we didn't reach out to everyone yesterday, which I know we didn't, because it was mind-boggling. But there's room, and everyone is welcome. Let's come together as one community.
Well, not everybody, not the poor, apparently, because geez, 70,000 minimum. You're getting a tiny, like, micro unit lot for $70. Here's a.
You should see it. There are people that paid 70,000 epics for a property only to find out it's too small for a build.
What? Oh no. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's gonna be really cool.
I didn't even look at that. So I picked up 6 properties today. 12 up square, 15 up square, 19, 18, 17, and 35. And I paid anywhere from 47,700 to 139,000.
Well,
I was just minting.
Look on the bright side. You still get the monthly earnings, and you don't need Spark for those.
I suppose.
But they got to come out with the London style micro house then.
I would like to see them come out with London style buildings.
Yeah, I'm not building in London until they get some London style buildings.
Yeah. Right.
Well, wouldn't that a danger? Like, if they did the base models in a London style, doesn't that set a dangerous precedent? And like all the other cities that aren't going to have that level of customization. I think they should keep to their standard, like one personalized building per city. Make it one of those like skinny flats that's very stylized that maybe can go on one of these smaller lots. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that I don't know. There's some historic London style buildings that you'd like to see, but I guess you can say that about any city.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right. That's true. It wouldn't be fair to just.
But you know what? You know what that leaves the door open for? It's just layer 2. When you have a neighborhood in layer 2, absolutely, we'll send you back down to old time in New England. What's the stabby guy? Who was the stabby?
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper.
The stabby guy.
But you got it. Don't laugh at me when you got it immediately.
That's because we've been best friends for 3 years now. That's the only reason I got it.
You're just like stabby, dude. I got you, Jack the Ripper. The foggy streets of London. Old street lights.
We need one of those. You need to build us a London and kings and queens and knights and thing. And
Oh yeah.
world.
It's-
I wore one of Ted's corsets today. I wore it because it's perfect for Knightsbridge, right? It's like I'm about to ride into battle. So Head's business is in London. And
you just really went off camera.
Sorry, I need a moment.
sorry.
Wow.
I
So
apologize.
I didn't know Toss had actually made
No, you're
corsets
fine.
like that.
Yes. And I have 12 of them. And you
Wow.
guys are all going to be seeing a lot of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just gonna go with midgets on Shetland ponies jousting on layer 2, and
Yes. Can we go back to talking about layer 2? Thank you.
oh,
So that would be really cool in layer 2.
midgets on Shetland ponies jousting, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I like it.
What kind of block explorers do you think they're gonna start pumping out? We saw the new car skin,
That is so cool.
the bars and bells. What do they call that?
Is it the UK car you're talking about? Like
Yeah.
the SR1 UK flag?
Yeah, it's called something specific though. Like they call that pattern like bars and bells or something. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. No idea.
Oh, a double-decker red bus. They already have that as a free block explorer though.
Yeah,
They could
but
do
as a
different-
car.
They could do a different size. Oh, as a car, as a vehicle. You mean? Now that would be sweet. That would be my car for sure. Yeah, there's a default block explorer.
Like early on, it was a default block explorer.
Oh, you know what? I think it might be. There's actually Union Jack. That's it.
Oh, good job, Dizzy.
Oh,
Close enough. You know what? No one really talks about this anymore because it was for a very short period of time. But the OGs, we have different starting Pokemon.
oh,
So we have, because I bet, maybe, no. Yeah. So like there's whatever these are, the Visitor, but then there's Uplander, which isn't that the double-decker bus is under Uplander, I thought. Or is there a better one? Pro. So, and then there's Founders Edition, which is like the duck, gorilla, whale, those. Do you have those? Shaq, do you have those?
No, I've never seen those.
Have you've seen do you have the pro ones though? The flowers, there's a mouth.
Oh,
What about that?
I know what you're talking about. I have seen those actually before, but no, I don't know what I have. No, you have so many ones that I don't have. Oh,
yeah. So
yeah.
Is that-
Sorry, Tim.
is that more like an RV or a double decker?
It's an that's a double decker.
It looks like a double-decker bus.
It is.
But,
It
but
is.
usually your double deckers are open on the top.
Not everywhere. I mean, not.
That's true.
And it probably is not going to be in London. You know what it does in London a lot.
It rains.
Oh, but I guess they do. They have the famous ones.
Yeah, that's right. Wow.
But
And
yeah,
then you got the
there
London
could be-
phone booth.
There definitely could be a much better one. for
It
sure.
looks whack. That's a word that I haven't heard in a while.
Wait, is there a vote going on?
Yeah, Master Builder.
Oh, I
More
got it.
buildings to vote for.
More buildings.
More buildings.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
All right. What else are you excited about in Upland there, Shaq?
I am really excited. Well, I got my MetaVenture approved, and it's not open yet, but it's called the Crown Jewels, and it's in Detroit.
Why'd you pick Detroit? Creedmoor.
No, Creedmoor's in Belarus.
Oh.
Queen.
I have no idea.
Toss Head
Queens,
and
sorry.
I have big, big plans for Detroit.
Okay.
And
Get it.
that is why. And so for our Avenue of Fashion project, I got my meta venture in Detroit called the Crown Jewels. My factory is building, but my showroom is established with my logo and whatnot. Shoot. Oh, and I'm excited about the Speedway Meta Ventures. I think that's super cool, and I can't wait to see what people do with that.
Did you make a racetrack and apply?
I made a racetrack and Toss Head applied.
Okay.
We share everything. So,
Got it.
you know, oh gosh, I don't know. It's too much. There's too much.
So how do you find the time to be involved in all of this?
Right.
It's my full-time job.
Well, there you go.
It really is about 12 hours a day. And I'm grateful to my husband for supporting our household so that I am able to do that. And it is my intention and goal that this will become very profitable as Web3 and the metaverse go mainstream. And so I'm, he's supporting me so that I can do this full time. And I have very little to show for it at this point, but I believe that will change. And that's the thinking. So
that's awesome.
And
yeah, good for you. And I can tell you, I mean, UpX World wouldn't probably even still be fighting if it wasn't for people like you. And specifically you.
Oh,
thank you, TML. That's sweet.
Very appreciated.
And that's awesome that he supports you, believes in what you're doing. And, as we've said for a while now, we're still early in on this, and we're helping develop the whole Web3 and all of this. So we're have the foot in the door, and we're setting ourselves up to be very successful here in a few years. It's just not if you listen back to our early shows, it was always about, us ragging on the people that would come in looking to like 67,000x their $5 investment into Upland, and this is the long game, and you're going to be one of the people that proves that, hey, this is the long game. You're in early on, and you're going to set it up and run it successfully. So, this is something we've stressed for years now on the show.
Well, I agree. So, and I love being here, like in this space with you two and with the people in the chat right now, and the whole community, and you guys are awesome, and I love you all, and I couldn't imagine a better way to spend my days. So
much love.
I don't know how to do that very well. Art.
Yeah, that's the younger generation people.
Yeah, I'm not that flexible. I just turn into like a crippled T-Rex.
Oh.
Yeah. And of course, 1111, I want to mention the 1111 Art Gallery because it's amazing, right? A group of us artists make art every month and submit it to the gallery, and it goes up for auction, and we make some money. And when UpX World launches on Steam and starts having in-game items created, those items can be made by the art that we made. The mass gaming community will come on into UpX World and start playing games. And when they want to customize an item, they can look at the art. And this participating in the gallery, what I'm trying to say is that it is a potential perpetual revenue stream for the artists. And everyone is welcome. If you are an artist of any level, skill, or kind, please come and participate with us, because it's a lot of fun. You make money, and you might make more money later on.
There you go. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. Absolutely. But thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to hang out with us and talk to the community about all the amazing things that you're involved in. And there's there's going to be more people like you that Upland and Web3 and all this stuff is going to be their full-time jobs here in the future. And, you're on the ground floor and have a great advantage to s- get a foot up on everyone.
Absolutely. She's going to be in the C-suite up at the top.
Well, it's super exciting. I love it. So appreciate you guys having me on. And thanks everyone for listening to me.
All right, Shaq, thanks. We'll definitely have you on soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
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 All right, there you go. Always love talking with Shaq.
Best.
There we go. MV Motor Sales. So everybody, we come off of last week's show. We're all excited. London's coming out. First tier 1 city, first tier 1 international city, first city 111 in over a year. And what do? They drop cars on us.
A lot of them.
Not just a couple of cars, a lot of cars. 789 cars. Jeez. A total of 118 million UPX, 18.3 million UPX.
Jeez.
And 50 Series 1R.
I mean, it's interesting. Has anybody compared the stats? I know that the stats are out there from the 2022 R1 versus the 2023 R1.
I have not pulled up that sheet to see if they've updated that spreadsheet. But I'd imagine your 2022 still has the better stats. But I wonder how close it is.
We could just go look in the game, can't we?
Oh, yeah.
I'll do that.
You'll do that. There you go.
You can.
Now, the crazy thing is there were actually a lot of deals going on for the R1s. And it was about 5 hours later after the initial release of these. And I was like, I'm 6 hours out. I'm not going to get it. And I get a text from Dizzy saying that he was just able to buy some. I'm like, there's still cars available.
Right. That was nuts.
Yeah. I was able to go in and buy 2 Series 2Es and then a Series 2. So I was excited about that. I was surprised.
So does that mean like we're officially at a kind of a saturation point, and B, that people can't really complain about not having access to cars? Because I saw people posting like, yeah, but I'm not ever going to buy it. Like, well, can anybody complain about not having cars at this point?
Well, I don't know, because you had people that were saving for London. And I think there's going to be a handful of people that were saving for London that wish they would have bought a car.
Yeah, I would say I'm thinking now. I mean, just based on the prices that I saw, I would have. I'm glad that, I mean, I didn't spend much. I think I got 2 cars. Although I'm looking, oh, maybe that is it. Anyway, yes, a yellow and a. But I only picked up 2 cars there, but I'm glad I spent it on that and not London today.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, just getting over there, and then, I don't know, fighting for the spots. I didn't really know enough, and I didn't have enough to know to buy a bunch. So I was only going to be able to buy a small amount. I'll buy them secondary because, again, I knew it wasn't going to sell out. It's not going to be a massive return city, at least not right away. Down the line, once we're at 10, 100x our player base we are now, sure, but that's a very long time down the line.
I would say we hit car saturation, though, when you don't do it on a couple days before a large city release.
I guess.
I don't know, but I was surprised. And then
yeah, well, and I mean, especially another, Series 1R, like, I mean, the thing is, did they talk about how they're doing this? Because at this point, we're just kind of like assuming now, okay, they've now given themselves an out to reprint essentially every car model each year indefinitely with slight modifications to the appearance. And I got to find out if there's a slight modification to the numbers.
But I mean, it's just like a normal car company. They make slight modifications, and then probably 5-10 years later, they make some redesigns of their models.
Yeah, the difference is that cars will slowly kind of circle out. So they'll age out. These will never age out. And in fact, in theory, they should increase in value. So I don't know about that.
But, you know, they will wear down and stuff the more that you drive them.
We haven't seen that implemented yet. I am curious to see how that plays a factor. But at no point can they say, like, put like a durability that's unrepairable or really unreasonable at all. I think that would be a really big hit to the market. And I don't know how they would update the NFT models on the blockchain to contain that information after the fact. That's very true, Wisdom.
Very true. They wanted people to spend their savings on cars so people would buy UpX for London.
Correct.
I mean, we called it as a big UpX sink, but if you think about it though, 118 million UpX across the Upland community right now. Is it really that big of an UpX sink?
Yeah, I mean, I think still, do we have mint numbers on like how much mint was London?
Yeah, we do. I got it in the next segment.
Okay, because I mean, like I'd be curious, how does this compare to that? Right?
Yeah.
Like, is it 1%? Is it 50%?
Saturation only exists when everyone is able to get the car they want at mint and cars sit unsold at mint price for days. We've not seen that yet.
That's true.
And then Android 2000 says, I find it a bit funny that everyone was freaking out about natural disasters damaging houses, but no one's complaining about car wear and tear.
The reason is that they've stated that up front. If they had stated at the beginning of the game that there would be natural disasters and here's the process, then people would be okay with it because they would know that. They stated that up front with cars, so no one can be surprised when they actually implement it. And also, I'm looking at the 2023 versus the 2022, and there are differences.
Where at?
So the 2023 is about 22 kilograms heavier.
Okay.
It has 64 out of 100 acceleration versus 2022 is 65 out of 100. Braking on 23 is 23 out of 100. Braking on the 22 is 24 out of 100. Next is handling, which 2023 has a 26 in handling, where 2022 only has a 24 in handling. So it's got the new one has better handling. Energy efficiency rating is a 16 out of 100 versus the 2022 is 15. So it looks like the new one is slightly more efficient, has a little bit better handling, but is overall a heavier chassis, where the 2022 has a couple extra points in acceleration and braking and is a little bit lighter. I like that schematic. I like that they have changes, that it's not exactly the same, but I like that the 2022 has stats where I would want them for a race car.
There you go. Oh,
whoa.
oh, sorry.
Jack.
All right. Yeah. They're
But
not that
it tells
bad.
you the total mint.
Yeah.
They don't do that with any of the cars.
Oh, okay.
None of the cars. That's only block explorers, right? They don't do that with the cars at all that I'm aware of.
All right. So we had the London release today. And the bottom right is what they released versus the full map of London.
Wow.
I did steal that map from the Analytic Assassins from their Discord channel. So shout out to them.
I don't think that they'll overjuice the 100 for a very long time. Android. Years.
Yeah. So there's still a lot of London left to be released. And last week, ThankMeLater was right. He said that it wouldn't sell out right away. And minutes before the podcast, I did check the stats. FSA in London is sold out. There was just about 1,800 non-FSA properties available for 91% overall minted. And the secondary market's already at call it 20,000 UPX floor.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, I mean, honestly, when you look at the cost per up square on some of these neighborhoods.
Where'd you get that from? I want to make sure they get proper credit too, because I took this from the text you sent earlier.
Oh, who did? That's from
you got it on Facebook.
I got it on Facebook. I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody was posting it this morning. I don't remember.
Okay.
I just ninja'd it. I wasn't expecting you to put it on blast. You couldn't have retyped that?
No. Look, I had torture tonight. I had a fourth graders recorder concert for 45 minutes.
Why? How?
Because my daughter's in fourth grade and I support my kids.
Well, no. Obviously I get that, you monster. I meant, how do they make something with recorders last 45 minutes?
There were cute parts to it, and they weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. But yeah.
I mean, that sounds oof. Like 45 minutes, my brain would just be rattling inside my head.
Yeah. And then dealing with the two younger ones, and and of course they did it later in the evening where fourth graders are up, but 2 and 4-year-olds aren't up. And it was just a fun, interesting night to say the least. So it was, and then of course the stars align, and Justin was unable to provide the data tonight. So I got like the baseline stuff, but I wasn't able to update the slides to do the secondary. It was what it was. So yeah, I'm just copy and pasting and taking what I get.
We had Shaq on the show. It's already going to be like a top 5er done. Like that was easy.
Absolutely. Oh, and that's turning into a short.
Shaq right here.
That is definitely turning into a short where she stands up to model and you just turn your camera off. That's definitely will be a short.
Why you do me like that?
Okay. Chris might have made the chart.
Possibly. That sounds very likely.
Yeah. And then in Birmingham, there's still 61. The H is silent there in England in this city. But anyway, non-FSA is about
Birmingham.
Yeah. There's only 84 properties left on non-FSA. And as they said, this is going to be a 70% FSA city. So yeah. And then if you look at it, so the Knightsbridge and Belgravia was a very expensive neighborhood. I didn't even look at the up squares when I was minting. I was just like, oh, okay, I'll grab this, I'll grab that. And they look like decent sizes because they all look pretty relative to each other. But when they're all small, it happens.
All right, cool. Yeah, somebody had posted it on Facebook. That's where I got mine. I got it from Facebook.
There you go. Overall, it was a smooth release. You had the analytic assassins doing a great job with identifying potential targets. And of course,
Just think of that the Belgrave, is that it? Belgrave and Knights Hood. What?
the Knightsbridge and Belgravia.
Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be out. It's literally the longest one on that whole dang thing.
It is.
You're gonna have to give it to me again.
Knightshood and Belgravia. Knightsbridge, I'm sorry, Knightsbridge and Belgravia.
So can we just call it Cab, Knightsbridge, and I'm just gonna call it Cab. So Cab. Now imagine if it hits a collection and the unminted properties get those crazy multipliers, like 30x multipliers on those collections.
But it is the largest one released. So it would be, a standard, maybe in an odd chance, a limited just because of the price per up squared. Where would you place that? Because this is an interesting one. It was the largest with over 3,000 properties available to mint, but it was the highest price per up square.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I think it being the most properties and that many properties does make me feel like it would probably be a purple at best.
Yeah.
Although like the financial districts, because like would that be considered like, I don't know, I'm gonna say something stupid, like the royal district, like because it's close to the palace and stuff, like would it be kind of like that? Because that could be really cool.
Yeah. A lot of speculation here. And it's hard to say based off of what Upland does with that.
Yeah, Swirly did the classic, man. I remember for me, I think it was the terminals that I went, or no, it was the financial district when I bought in financial district. But small fish, but I spent 1.2 million UpX, and now I feel a bit sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've all been there, brother. Like I remember there was a couple times because then I dropped probably $6,000 on the museums.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was like, what did I do?
Yeah, and that just wasn't UpX. That was your cash that you put in to get the curator collection in San Francisco. But that was, I mean, how many people could own that? 4?
Yeah, there's only 4 total sets, and it's the highest multiplier that they offer. 3.
Still to this day.
Yeah, they've done a 299, but they have not done a 3.
I mean, you still 4x your return off of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. And I could probably buy it back at that same price now if I wanted. Like not the original price, but I could probably buy it back for what I sold it for 2 years ago.
Depends on who you. Oh, yeah, people might have just wanted out now because
Yeah.
it hasn't gone up.
No, it hasn't gone up. No, I sold at the peak for sure in that time.
Yeah. Now, how long before they release more of London?
Well, I was thinking that they might be tricky and do another release prior to the collections. However, after seeing the fact that this is not even minted out, there's no chance they're releasing more. There's no reason to. There's absolutely no reason to.
I'm intrigued to see what's left. I haven't had a chance to really explore what's left and how expensive those properties are of what's left. But you're over 90%. And yes, you were right last week. I said 20,000 is not enough. In the back of my mind, I thought there could be some big properties that might linger, and I thought it was going to be pretty quick. We're over 10 hours into the release and at 90%.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know. I wish we would have thought about what we thought the up square price would be, because I mean 37. I mean the minimum is 700, so like minimum you're talking 7x what the base price was for San Francisco two
Yeah.
and a half years ago, right? Or 3 years ago, I guess.
And okay, now we have another city added, and we've had all these partial releases. Like,
No, that's
where,
true though. If it was priced like the old ones, it would have sold out easily. But that's why I said is they can't do that anymore. And they learned from Manhattan because they got like the Manhattan prices were way too low. And it was funny because at the time people were complaining they were way too high. They're like,
yeah,
why? And they were like, well, it's all this real world, blah, blah, blah. And now we're looking back at it like that was so cheap. It's
such a
crazy.
steal. I mean, going from San Francisco to Manhattan was a sticker price shock, but and even LA, a lot of, once again, I'm always on the wrong side of that, but that's why I'm too stupid to win. Um, I thought that was going to mint out it pretty quickly. We're sitting over a year later and we still have over 150,000 properties left in LA available for mint. Which is crazy in itself. But this was the first tier 1 international city going on, and we knew it was going to be expensive. Yeah, and
I'm
as you
so
reflect,
glad. No, and everybody in the game should be because this is what we need the game to do. We need Upland to continue to rise. And because that city minimum is so high, when people now look at LA that's unminted, they're going to go, I can buy one tiny property in London, or I can buy like 2 or 3 really good properties in LA, right? So it's going to be a value proposition for all of the cities that came before because it kind of resets a baseline almost. So I would love to see a major release like this once a year where they continue to push the floor, especially for tier 1.
yeah. But my whole question is what's the strategy now with all these partial city releases? You haven't completed cities, and is this the drive to get people to buy more OpEx, or I'm just still trying to figure it out because we have cities on all kinds of different continents. You have plenty of available property out there. I'm just trying to understand what the direction's going, and we're still waiting for utility. And I don't know. It just kind of feels like we're doing things just to do things so we keep people interested.
Well, yeah, that's usually how that works. Is that you just keep doing things and then keep it interesting for people, and then they stick around, and then you just keep doing that until one of you dies. No, I don't like. Of course, what else are they going to do? They needed to add something in that was a little exciting. Dropping a tier 1 international city like London is very exciting. So I think it re-energized some people. I mean, we know one fellow player that dropped 25 mil plus of savings on London. So big money got spent, which is exactly what Upland wanted.
It was a
And
great up accent, and it took
yeah,
care of a lot of money that was hanging out there.
although I did hear Big A did not go hard on London.
No, did
I don't
not.
know if he's holding back, if he went big on cars, if he's just letting that UpX. God, when I think of how quickly that accumulates, it's insane to me. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point, though. How many more cities can be like this from an up square price, though? Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Even pick, Tokyo. I mean, Singapore for sure, Dubai for sure. Tokyo, Hong Kong, sure. All you need is like one of those a year, though. You just gave this game 5 years longevity. You do one of those each year. And yeah, at that point, you're at such a high price point. you can probably start colonizing the moon or Mars. Who knows?
Mars. How'd you get to Mars?
Well, because at that point, the world will have already been minted, and then where else are you going to go?
I don't know.
Reigning property prices go from 35,000 to 2 million. 35,000? I was told 70,000. Dizzy, did you lie to me? You said 70, you dirty dog. What would Sydney be like? That's true. Sydney would be on that for sure.
Oh yeah.
I don't like Sydney. Melbourne
Why?
for life. Melbourne for life. What?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying you personally didn't like Sydney, but then I saw it.
No, I don't like Sydney
Why?
because I like Melbourne
Why?
because it's got better culture.
Oh, okay.
It's more like Sydney is like the New York, LA, and Melbourne's like the St. Louis, Nashville, and Cincinnati vibe.
Okay.
Like it's like more like down to earth. It's not nonsense. Sydney to me is just a bit pretentious.
Gotcha.
I love them though. It's still a great city. I'm just more Melbourne. Oh, 70K was Knightsbridge. Gotcha. That's fair. I did ask for Knightsbridge. Oh, so 35,000. That's a pretty steep minimum.
Oh wow. He minted some big stuff in Knightsbridge.
Who, Dizzy?
Now, Abdullah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh. Dizzy says, meh, not so much. Dizzy's like, if you want to flex, go look at what I minted.
We can do that too. But I mean a 75 up square property for almost 300K. 233 up square property for almost $1 million.
That's crazy. Oh, dude, is that Abdullah buying into Hyde Park?
Yeah, in London.
Yeah, in Hyde Park, London, but still.
Yeah, he just has a page. It's not that much that he bought in London.
So Shaq's node and Hyde Park Ninjas, like secondary node. That's what you're telling me? That's what Abdullah's buying into? Fam. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Big A. Thank you.
So that's where he was buying. So let's go see.
Oh yeah, where was Dan buying? Oh man, for a second there, I wasn't sure if Dan had shared his real name. I was like, oh dang, did I just? And then I was like, no, he put his stupid face and name on his YouTube. He gets it.
He gets it. You doxed him.
Yeah, I was like, dang it, this Doc's Dizzy.
As much as you call out for Daddy Dizzy, help! I need a loan.
All
Just dox him
all the time, right? Make a web series out of that.
Daddy Dizzy, help!
Daddy Dizzy, I need the money.
Send out the Daddy Dizzy signal. So let's see here.
The big pair of double D's in the sky.
Oh, look at that. He said, I'm buying all kinds of KBB.
Dang. All right. Well, I might have to come to you buy some secondary. You bought all the floor? Oh, man.
Ooh, he's got some St. James. That should be nice.
Man,
he was all over.
Dude, you were crushing it today. Get it. I love to see that the invigoration of some of the OGs in new cities. Like, it's really cool because like I haven't really gone in on a new city in a while. I went pretty hard on LA, but that was not even.
You pick your spots and you just go in. You're just like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I guess I did do like Bones and stuff. Yeah, I did. I liked LA. I like the West Coast vibe.
You did get a Broad Street neighborhood. You didn't. I didn't see any bread though. Did you try bread at all, Dizzy? Get into bread, or it was just your kind of your
Bread.
focus?
There was a neighborhood called Bread.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's kind of funny.
Dude, you don't pay attention, do you, on these city releases, huh? You're just like, meh, I'll get it later.
I mean, I don't go down to the details. I did look because there's one that's like cheap or something. One of the neighborhoods.
Yep, there was a cheap. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I looked at it a little bit. It's just it doesn't interest me. I think, we're going to have these economies starting to settle, and people are going to be in these neighborhoods. Setting up these nodes is going to be way more important. And I think as Shaq and her team kind of figured out, like it's going to be harder and harder to grow those kind of things in new cities. So, I mean, they did team up there, but I think most of the action is going to be back in the old cities where those nodes are formed and growing. Ranch houses.
Rock band called Bread too, and guess where they were from?
Turkey.
Of course. See, that's what you get. Moonshine Fuel. You throw it out there when you're supposed to say Bread London and get turkey.
Because it would be like
the turkey
sandwich.
Yeah.
Ranch house. So that would be the biggest flex. And building a ranch house in London would be such a flex. Like, yeah, look at me just wasting all this up square.
Expensive up square.
Yeah.
Yes.
The most pricey ranch house in the history of the game. Somebody's dropping that in cab.
All right. What else you got for us this week?
Oh, the new merch store is up.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't make a ticker for it. Jeez, oh, Pete, you got a lot of tickers.
You do too. They're both of us.
It's upxworld.shop is upxworld.shop.
And don't forget, we are looking for your favorite clips from this past year, going back to June 17th, 2022, so we can do a nice little collage of our listeners' favorite clips of our show over the last year. So definitely let us know which ones are your favorite clips there. And don't forget the Chokes for Charity, because you have to we got to raise that money to get TML choked out by the Hyde Park Ninjas.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very behind this activity.
Hey, if you raise $25,000.
I mean, if we raise $25,000, I'm doing it. There's no chance I'm not doing it if we hit 25,000.
Yeah. All right. Other than that, let's get out of here for the week.
Absolutely.
Everybody have fun. Be safe. We'll see you out there in the metaverse. And sorry if London broke you.
The Upix Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host who's stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland property experts, baby, UPX.